Right, carrying on again. I've just had loads of stuff like going through my mind. I was really chippity yesterday. I was boinkety, boinkety. I was bouncy. It was cool. And I'm giving like so much less of a fuck. Much less. Oxymoron. I love oxymorons. But no, what was it? I was like, as I was walking around the high street, I was singing weird shit. I was dum-de-dumming stuff. When I was outside smoking, I was just in my own fucking world and loving it. And because I am quite colourful, I quite often get comments, and I got loads of really nice little comments from people when people came in the shop. There was a lot of positivity around me. Because of my amazing fucking cloak, basically. So it's like people are basically paying compliments to Electro Threads more than me. But yeah, it did get me noticed. But a lot of the time I was just, because I notice all sorts of shit, but I noticed how I wasn't getting noticed when I was like acting quite strangely out in public. And that's kind of like the utopia I almost want to get to. Like the compliments are lovely, but sometimes it's like when it's one of those that sometimes it makes anyone think they can just come up and talk to me. And I don't always want to talk to people, and I'm not always nice. I'm not always nice, I'm not always in the fucking mood, mate. But I have to be, like, I have to try and be understanding, because, like, the way I look does have "look at me" written all over me. I've got to be fucking, but it's because I'm a fucking narcissist. And, and I have to be the centre of attention and all of that shit. But it's like, it was the energy coming out. That's what I was noticing. And I do think it was to do with a lot of the therapeuticalness of how I handled that out of the blue, inexplicable, what could have been a meltdown. I think it was just, again, that diving into it, embrace it. And, you know, me being me, I fucking have to make a video about it and put it on the internet. Ta-da! Because I'm a fucking 2-year-old. Look what I've done! Right? But it's helped. It's helped. Then this leads to another problem, and this is like, is I suppose what you would call the sort of bipolarness of it. But when I'm happy and I'm big happy, I'm really fucking annoying. I'm fucking annoying. I start to do my own head in, but I have to let it out. I was thinking that, you know, because I mentioned that situation on the bikes when I was working last year. But I remember saying to my mate, he's a mate of mine, he's going to be thinking I was going to make a joke that I'm not going to make. I won't make it. But I remember saying to him, it's like, this is literally the only fucking job I can do. I was like, the Swanage train was going by, and so I had a little song. I won't sing it, otherwise it'll start cycling over and over and over in my head for the rest of the fucking week. But I used to use that song as Gizness has arrived. It's morning and I'm up and about, and he's like, excuse me, but what the fuck are you doing? There is a cat in the room that you haven't fed yet. Tough shit, mate, you gotta wait now. But it was just my level of have to be noisiness that I had to do in order to be able to fucking work. Because like when I get told to shut the fuck up, which happens a lot, right? I start to fuck things up. I do. I just fucking do. It's just like I say, there's just a next levelty to it with me. And I kind of know, well, he often encourages me. He finds me entertaining, and I enjoy being a fucking sideshow because I'm a fucking show off. But we were just doing mad shit and making mad videos, and there was a lot of fucking positivity around it as well, and it was very therapeutic. And I said, it's actually therapeutic. So, because you just let me be me. You just let me be me. And he knows that it's like sometimes, because there's no fucking stopping me. But I was just thinking, no one else would let me do this. But I kind of fucking have to. I kind of fucking have to. It's all coming out. I could feel it. I wasn't doing it. I could feel it coming out. The mad songs and the stupid voices and the shit. And it's like, I remember when I worked in the mental health, there was a patient who was really fucking intelligent. And he told me about that, you know, when someone's walking along and saying, did you know what that is? And I said, what? And he said, practical thought. Explain. Said it's just as your brain's organising things, it plays a tune. It's like a little sort of mantra kind of tunefulness to it to help it organise it. And I thought, you know what? You do hear that, don't you, when people are commentating? They go, I just put that in this goes in here, and it's always those childlike little blocks of tunes. So that's what everyone does. When I do it, mine involves huge sweeping hand gestures and fucking operatic noises. And inventing games with things and shit like that. But that's like the expression of my practical thought. And it really fucking is. Because I've always noticed that I do, you know, the reason I didn't work in a clinical environment, I couldn't exist in a clinical environment, was because I fell asleep every day by about 3 o'clock. And I would fall asleep while I was talking to people. I'm not even fucking lying. I fell asleep while I was talking to someone at work. Just because it was the environment. Mentally, that's what happens to me. It closes me the fuck down. And it was happening every fucking day. Without fail, no matter what I did about it. You know what I mean? Clean and sober every single day. Falling asleep every single fucking day. Or fighting it. And then doing some part-time work as a builder. And suddenly going, ta-da! And my brain coming alive and suddenly able to do things and organise shit. That's what I found. Is that I could only do it when I was high expressed emotion, as they call it in mental health, or behaviourally dysregulated. I'm behaviourally dysregulated. I fucking am. Like, I remember going to Nottingham with someone, and she's someone I met on an ADHD website and got to know. And I remember when I chatted to her, we were having a conversation about ADHD and about there are a lot of people who say they've got it who haven't. And there are a lot of people who say they've got it and look like they haven't, but it's all internal. And there's a lot of sort of debates about it. And there's a lot of people that say it doesn't exist. And a lot of people that say that, you know, people think themselves into having it when they haven't really got it. And, you know, they can tell who's got it and who, da-da-da-da-da. And I remember asking her, how do I come across? And she just fucking burst out laughing. She went, no, you're fucking obvious, basically. And she ran an ADHD support group where she lived, and she'd met loads of people with it. So it was just like, yeah, just love and accept it. Love and accept it. Because it's, again, one of those things that I've ever tried to refer to. People have often said, people don't always say it, people have often said, oh, that's just you fucking thinking it. And it's like, no, it's not. Fucking honestly, I can't stop this shit happening. And there's levels to which you have things, you know, on the autism spectrum, which ADHD apparently has steps in and out of. Sometimes it isn't on the spectrum and sometimes it isn't. There's so many fucking similarities with things like tics and fucking all of that sort of shit. There's loads and loads of similarities. Anyway, I've lost my thread. What was I going to say? Bang! And the mental juggernaut that was gathering speed hit a fucking tree. Come on. What are we on to? 9:37, right? About 20-30 seconds to see if I can do it. Yeah. On the autism spectrum, I did it. I'm confident enough to distract myself with song. They call it, what is it on the autism spectrum? High functioning. Ta-da! That's what I was going to say. So you also get low functioning. You get levels to which it affects you, and then levels to which it affects your life. And like, I think this is part of my healing process after my crises. When nothing happened on what day was it now? On Friday, when nothing happened. But I just got mentally, emotionally, and spiritually fucked up, and the world went weird for no fucking reason at all. But then as I started to get better, I returned to the boinkety mikey. But then I do remember actually dancing on the train. And that was another point I was going to make. And just, again, being ignored. When I walked up the road, I was singing. What was I singing? Budapest. And I got a couple of funny looks, but it's like they're getting less and less now. And it's like, good. If I can get things to a tolerable level, I need to do weird shit. I need to do weird shit to stop myself from fucking feeling horrible shit. It's kind of that simple. And it is that sort of love and accept yourself thing that people socially just prescribe. But fucking hell, it takes a hell of a lot of getting to when you've got to be such a dick to achieve it. You gotta be such an annoying fucking cockend. And it's actually something real, and you know there's something that people are going to go, oh, for fuck's sake, look at you, you're just making all of that up. Because I've had that said to me, that my whole, so my whole entire life is a complete fucking joke, or a weird, just fucking whatever scenario. I don't know. But the upshot of it is, I'm loads happier.